Okay, so here's my brand new Ohuhu book. I am gonna draw on the first page with you, my friends. So I am first going to show you when I say complex pose, what that means. So to me, and I don't know if this is like the definition if you asked like someone else, but to me, it's anything like this where the body is sort of overlapping. Like you can't see her shoulder, you can't really see her stomach, you can't really see her foot very much. So you have to be able to communicate all the other stuff so that you can understand what's going where you can't see. So to me, that is complex. So I am going to do, this is the first photo I'm going to use, and this is the second. I actually think this one will be a lot easier. So as far as like a neutral pose, to me, these are both neutral poses. They have their foot out and stuff, but there isn't a ton of perspective that needs to be figured out. Even though it's not exactly straight on, it's relatively neutral. So as well as these, it's at a little bit different angle, like the camera is down here, but even so, they're pretty neutral. So I'm gonna do, this is the first one we're gonna do, and I will put this so you can download it and use it and have it on your screen, but I'm just gonna put it over here, maybe not blocking the light. Okay, there we go. So now I'm ready. I have, no, again, I don't like that. I have my sketching pencil, which is, I'm gonna do peach. I have my coffee. I have another pencil to darken up, or I will have another pencil. Let's use this purple pink one. Pink lemonade, I love this one. Okay, so these are the two I'm gonna use. So when I start, I usually find the biggest body mass first. So in this photo, it's going to be this, right? So if you just cover up everything else, don't consider anything else, it's really just kind of like a bean, right? Just sort of a peanut sort of shape. And we have this line. This would be kind of the line of action, right? Sort of a C. So if we put a C down, I'm gonna put it here actually. So we'll put a C down, right? And hopefully you can see that because I gotta draw light or else it'll turn out crazy. Okay, so now from here, if we're imagining that this is this point in her back, right? So then we have the shoulder is like right there. From there, her elbow is like right there. Her wrist is like right there. And then so I'm just gonna lay down things in relation to each other, right? So I have like a wrist right there, which means that this top of this leg is gonna be right here. And for every joint, we're gonna do a little circle. And I like to sort of map out all of my joints first, especially when we're doing something complex like this, so that you can sort of see where your goal is. So like this shoulder, her hand is up here, sort of on her face. Okay, so then we know that her head will go right there. That might be a little bit too close, but we can figure that out. We'll get the center of her face and then her eye line. And this head is probably way too big. So instead of using the whole circle that I made, I'm just going to bring her ear in. We'll put the rest of her face. She's got like some hair. And this, I'm bringing up the whole thing together. So I started on the body, I went to the leg, that got a little bit overwhelming. So I moved to the head. I got a little off on the proportions, so I moved to the hair. Constantly going to be moving around makes it all come up together. Excuse me. Makes it a lot easier to read than if you build a whole face and have that looking awesome and then try to attach pieces to it. This is all one thing, right? It's all one person. So we need to make sure that we, make everything not uniform, but cohesive. So this knee got out of control, so that's okay. I'm just gonna move on. I'm gonna put her foot, so we'll make her toes a little more. So she has roller skates on in this picture, so her toe is straight on, but I'm not gonna do that, which is okay. So for two reasons. A, it's a little bit easier to me to draw that than to draw roller skates, and maybe it's different for you, which is fine. And two, but the second reason that I'm going to do that is because I don't want to completely copy this picture. I love the pose she's in. I love her hair. But I'm not going to take this photographer's vision and just turn it straight into one of my sketches. If I wanted to just copy someone else's work, I would just take a picture of it, right? So, we just want to use the suggestion. So now we can get her knees in a little easier because we have the relationship between her hand and her knee, and this knee and this knee. And we can see that it's sort of a, like a pitch, like a roof pitch, right? So this comes out at this angle to this, and this comes back down at that angle. So it's things like that that I'm constantly looking for to measure where I'm going to put things. And hands, my arch nemesis, probably everyone's arch nemesis. I've just turned it into sort of a little like rhombus. So I just sort of from the wrist a triangle, and from there a triangle. Simplifies it a lot, which is something that I have chosen to incorporate as just a part of what I do, which is just really simplified hands, really simplified feet. I don't feel like seeing every single vein on your hand and every single joint on her hand is essential to tell the story and to make you understand what I am trying to do in the sketch, or just for something in my sketchbook. If you want to learn how to draw hands perfectly to every small last detail, then that's awesome. But, it's not necessary. So this leg is crazy. So in this picture, this is covering up this sort of space that has a lot of ambiguity. So we know because her elbow's right here that her other shoulder's got to be right through there, right? But this is sort of covering that up. And since I don't want to copy this exactly, I have to figure out how to have this hand meet this leg. So there's a foot right there, right? Whew, this is really hard. I don't know if it was a good idea to try to do this. Play my camera. But you know what? If it doesn't work out, then that is really what happens sometimes. Really, sometimes it does not work out. So that's okay. And we'll try the other pose. Okay. So then a lot of this, I can sort of cover up. So one thing that I like to do when I'm getting a little bit stuck is go through on all of the limbs, everything, because a person is a 3D object, right? So all of these sort of rounded lines help you think more in 3D than just in like lines and, you know, flat paper. All right. So if we give her a ground, I don't know that this was necessarily the best thing I've ever done, but you know, you get the idea, and even I am not perfect, so if you are still learning and this was really hard for you and it looks like a crazy little goblin person, then that's totally fine. Just try it again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and then sooner or later, you'll get it. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go with this and just redefine a few lines. This is a part that always gets away from me. You need to be really selective, because if you're going in and defining the sketch lines, it really does you nothing to just perfectly copy the lines, right? If you just copy exactly all the lines, you're just changing the color. So I'm watching as I'm going. In this stage, I want to move a lot slower, even though I still do struggle with that. And I'm going to find the lines that actually make sense, not the ones that helped me find my way, but the ones that actually tell the story. So, wow, right? So chill. Okay. Circles, circles everywhere. I'm so serious about this circle trick because it has helped me so much, so much. So we'll put like some shorts. So there's that. Got like a pocket, right? And then she can just be wearing like a tank top. Okay. Cool. Not perfect, but you get the idea. So let's go on to this one. This one I think will be a lot easier. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to sort of find the line of action and start with the biggest body mass, which again is that it almost always is the trunk, unless you're drawing, you know, like more of a bust or something a little bit different. If the, I don't know, if the angles are really weird, you might start with the legs or the feet or something, depending on the perspective. But for the most part, you just want to start with the trunk. So this is going to be easy. I'm just going to lay down just like that. Can you see that? I'll bring you in a little. Okay. So, and then from here, we have hips, right? And another thing I want to point out, this, I forget to do it sometimes, but my drawing teacher in one of my first drawing classes said that you should hold your pencil more like a paintbrush. So hold it like this, let it be loose. The more you tense up, the more you have to rely on your fine motor skills, which makes it a lot harder. This, you can do sort of big motor skills and it, you know, it's a lot easier. Anyway, especially at this like sketch phase where I don't really know where I'm going exactly. Oops, sorry. Okay. So, got one leg. Got an elbow. Got a wrist. So she's wearing this big coat, which sort of makes that area a little more questionable, so I'll have to figure that out on my own, which is good. So that one leg. Okay, so then we'll get in another knee, maybe like right there. And I am always drawing through the shapes. You can go back and erase what you need to, but draw through the shapes instead of trying to like figure out how to draw like around this leg, right? So then you just go like that, and then you can just erase it. Or if you can't erase it, you can just come back with your inking pen or whatever and not, you know, not define those lines, just define the ones around. So that's a little bit insane. We'll go like that. There we go. Triangle, triangle. All right. So now we have this wrist right there. And then right next to it is the elbow, just like right there, right? Wrist, elbow, shoulder, hip. So this leg has to come back and meet up with the hips, right? Because the butt cheek of this leg is the same, in the same place as the butt cheek for this leg, right? So this has to come all the way back around and meet up with that. And then we can give her sort of like a booty popping. We'll figure that out. So another wrist. We can do this hand. That's my dog. He is loud. So you may hear him bark. There's nothing to be done. So this arm, I've got this like hand is like right there. So, right. So elbow needs to come a little bit further down. I've got it a little bit close, which is why we draw so light, so that if I need to, I can just quickly kind of move it. So here's one thing that I failed to take into account. This shoulder is behind this shoulder, right? So her shoulder, based on where her elbows are, her shoulder should be like right there, right? So that means I need to turn her body a little bit more. So that means this shoulder needs to be like down there. Gently connect those. Okay. Okay, so now I'm gonna do this. I don't want to do her face at that angle, so I am going to actually turn her head the other way. And this is sort of, I like to change where they're looking or change the direction their face is. It really changes a lot about the sketch and the composition, and I think it helps a lot to get away from the copying again. Just, you know, just take it a step further, add your own little piece. And all this should be saying, I'm doing this so I don't copy, so that I can use this work for something professional, right? If you are learning and you are just filling up a sketchbook just for you, I mean, I have copied stroke for stroke people's work just to learn, but I mean, it's just for me. I don't ever share it or do anything with it, but that does help. If you are sort of at the point where you're still learning and you still feel a little bit unsure, definitely grab someone, you know, someone's work that you love and try to recreate it. I do that a lot with Mary Blair. she's one of my favorites. And I have a lot of art books that I can show that are super fun that I use for inspiration a lot, that I can make a video like that sometime in the future because I think those are super fun. So presumably she's sitting on the edge of something, right? Like a chair, maybe not just like a box. So I'll have it be like a stool. Okay. And some eyes. Getting her nose. They both look a little ornery. Okay. Making her feel 3D, making my brain think she's 3D. That's a better way to put it. Alright, so the shoulder came out a little bit too far. So there we go. So I'm gonna put like a drink that she's stirring. Like a, this would be the table. Okay. I don't know, just so she's doing something with that hand. Her eyes even come back this way, so she's turning her head that way, but she's looking the other way. Yeah? Ah, I love it. So let's give her like a bun. So I'll start by the ears, give her a few lines, and then give her a bun, and then just sort of connect the hair. We'll give her some like tendrils. I don't know, she's got leaves in her hair or something. Okay, so there we go. Those are 2 complex poses. I don't think I'm gonna put pink lemonade over top of this one like I did here. I don't really think I made that big of a difference, so I'm just gonna leave it. But yeah, there's my process. I can definitely make more videos to this effect because I know it's sort of hard in only, what is this, 20 minutes to sort of really understand what I'm doing. So watch it again and again, try it. I'll link the pictures, try these poses, and let me know how it goes. Tag me on Instagram. It's @by Lisa Jenkins, and we'll see you next week. Bye.